Thank you for joining us for the midweek edition of Journalist Hangout. I am Ayodele Ozubakun. Today on the Hangout, fresh crisis dampens hope of reconciliation in the PDP Southwest, and suspected ritual killer escapes from police custody. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju, Gani Kayode Balogun, and Adiola Yusuf. So if you're ready, let the Hangout start now. Okay, with the recent Supreme Court judgment on the leadership crisis that quaked the soul of the People's Democratic Party, one would have thought that the woes of the party would have ended by now. But while it seems that the bigger enemy had been deposed at the center, his lieutenants are still frustrating the party's reconciliation moves. Now, today, the southwest zone of the party remains barren land for cooperation. There are still lawsuits, and the warring factions are threatening punitive actions. Sadly, the story is the same in Kwara State. On Tuesday, the party's National Caretaker Committee tried in vain to reconcile warring factions in the states. The party leadership has been boasting of regaining the center in 2019, but its basic democratic structures are melting away in many states. Will the PDP scale these hurdles? Babajide, let me take you to the southwest, where Senator Buruji Kashamu has headed to the court again, saying that the Supreme Court only addressed the crisis in the center.
At the national level.
That it was strictly a dispute between Modu Sharif and the caretaker committee led by Ahmed McCarthy. And you seem to have that kind of contradiction in Ogun State. You seem to have the same story in Lagos State. In Lagos State, for example, Aeroland is claiming to be the chairman, while Moshood Salvador is claiming to be the chairman. One belongs to Body Judge faction, and the other one belongs to the people who were loyal to Sheriff. So right now, the situation is like in Osun, Oyo. I don't think Oyo is involved, but I know that like 4 or 5 Southwest states that was dissolved, you still have that contradiction within the People's Democratic Party.
Yeah, and that was why the party at the non-elective convention decided to dissolve the ESCOs in those states that are problematic. And some of those states are in the southeast, some of them in the north as well. Especially like a state like Adamawa, for example, where Golak had aligned with Sheriff in the hope that he would become the governorship candidate of the PDP in Adamawa State. So the party, the National Convention, which the Supreme Court affirmed, has the power to take any decision, you know, that affects the party, took that decision to dissolve those committees, the executive councils in those states. So, but as we have seen now, it's extremely difficult for Sheriff to live with, for Buruji Kashamu and others like him to live with that reality. You see, it was a war of attrition between both camps. A kind of
fight to finish.
A kind of Scotch-head policy.
That's why they got to the Supreme Court.
They got, and even while
political
the matter was
it
was before the Supreme Court, they were blackmailing one another, trying to get the judges to do each other's bidding. You found a particular group was saying, no, the judges had been bribed. Just trying to arm twist the judges. It was an irresponsible conflict, you know, between Sheriff and McCarthy. So you will know that by the time they come back, it will be difficult to forgive one another. And I've said it that at the point when the chairman, like the pro-tem chairman, McCarthy, said, look, we will reconcile, we'll bring everybody back. I knew it was easier said than done. Because it would be extremely difficult to reconcile people who went to great lengths to fight one another.
That's what Sayo Fayoshe said.
Yeah,
that there can be no victor, no vanquish.
No, you can see the way, you can see the infantile attitude of Sheriff to this whole thing, because Sheriff clearly does not want to believe that he has even lost the battle. What will please Sheriff today is to wake up one day and hear that the PDP is dead, since he could not achieve his aim.
They still attempted before that non-elective convention.
Yes, to stop the convention.
To stall.
These people, what will please them, in my view, what will please some of them is for the PDP to die. Because the way it is in my view, if you just want, they've lost the battle, no doubt about it. And I predicted on this table that they will lose that battle, the Sheriff camp. They've lost the battle, but they want the war to continue. Having lost the battle, they want the war to continue. It is now up to McCarthy to find a way to share power between some of these guys. Today, someone like Buruji has spent so much money trying to make the party strong in the Southwest. You must give that to him.
Yes.
So he's not going to an Ogun State, and he delivered this area in Ogun State. You know, he's not going to be comfortable to appear to have lost everything.
Oh,
you know, when he remembers the money that he has invested in the party, it's the same attitude that Sheriff has. He spent billions. Now to suddenly realize that all is lost, he's going to run mad. You know, so maybe in my view, what the Sheriff, the McCarthy people can do is to say, okay, gentlemen, come, let's talk. Stop all this needless fighting. We must see ourselves as one. Let's sit down. We can concede some positions because what he wants, he has his boys in Lagos, he has his boys in Ondo and a few other places on the Southwest. What he would want is, okay, let the McCarthy and his people concede some of these positions to people from his camp in those states where he already has a foothold and structures, as it were. If they will not do that, and I suspect they will not do that because he has now proven himself to be someone who can't be trusted. There's no way that you will have a Limodo Sheriff in your camp and still think that he's someone to be trusted, given the length he went to destroy his own party, given even the words that the Supreme Court used to describe him. Nobody would want Sheriff in his party. His future looks really, really, when they say someone's future is bright, his own future looks gloomy. Gloomy. You know, pitch darkness. That's how his future looks like. So nobody would want to pick him. And they can't, to me, they don't even the APC, which appears to be ready to take all kinds of people, will not want to pick people like Sheriff and Buruji Kashamu because of the baggage that they are coming with. That they have.
DKB, when you look at the situation right now, yes, it was a festival sort of for their last non-elective convention and everything, but they're still faced with these realities inside in their chapters, and this could, mar their chances. Let's check out Ogun State now. There's a faction loyal to Keshinti Adebutu. There's another with Bega Daniel.
The case of Ogun State is the stuff that legends are made of. When they say that all politics are local, Ogun State is the place to look because you have about 6 camps and they overlap depending on their interests at a particular point in time. Of course, Buruji is the big fish that will not go quietly into the night. Because he's fighting for his political survival. He's about the only person in Ogun State that you know exactly where he stands. Others, of course, are willing to concede and give. And this will not go away soon. Throughout the Southwest, PDP, like I said on this program once, the Yorubas will say you don't go to court and come back as friends. is toxic.
I didn't say
that. And I'm telling you, the level of poison that is in the system, as far as PDP Southwest is concerned, will not go away simply because there's a Supreme Court judgment. It will not go away because somebody is trying very hard to bend over backwards. It's going to be with us for a while. These people have to get rid, they have to be fumigated. They have to get rid of the poison in their system before they can come together. But we all know that PDP is basically a platform for hustlers and pirates. And if they think they are going to smell power, even by 1%, all this will disappear. And you see them congregate together to seize that power. But why that is not possible now, as of today, it doesn't look rosy. They are going to continue to fight until somebody goes down.
Adela.
Okay, to me, I want to believe that we get to this situation because some things were not properly done. And all these commentaries are expected. But I still want to believe that, I want to look at it from the perspective of what would be best for Nigeria. What would be best for Nigeria is for the PDP to get its house in order. And there was a time that a lot of things were said about APC when the party was being formed. Someone by the name Dr. Donye Okukpe even said the party will not work. That if the party lasts 6 months, they shouldn't call him his father's name. But one thing I want to believe is that all of these people are as tough and as ardent.
I think it's now in Accord Party.
Yes. So as ardent as their minds have been, I believe they are politicians, and I don't want to trust them with the integrity of they will just stick their neck and nothing will happen. I believe by the time, just like the former President Olusegun just said, that the booty is enough for everybody to have his or her share. If they are able to get their house in order, it will be good for Nigeria. And I want to believe they should start thinking in line of that. So that is the way I see it. It is going to be good for Nigeria for them to close ranks. It's going to be good. And I want to say this. Even the Buruji Kashamu, why will he want to fight to finish? It's because of power. If he's able to get that power, you see that he's going to align his position with the other party. So that's the way I say it.
One thing, another problem that will polarize the Southwest again is that the People's Democratic Party, come December, are going to have their elective convention. Yes. And they've already zoned the national chairmanship to the Southwest again. So we have the likes of Olabode George coming out. We have the likes of Jimmy Agbaje, somebody that is said to be a protege to Olabode George brought to the party. He's going to come out. The Tari Dade George, the professor, all these people, they are going to come out. And at the end of the day, because the likes of Raymond Deposi, they are still saying that South is South. It should not be Southwest, South, or say anybody in the South. That it should not be micro-zoned to the Southwest. So this national chairmanship, something. Do you see this zoning for the first time of the PDP to the Southwest as causing, further problem in the party?
Before now, the consensus was that
Okay, Babajide, they just informed me right now that we have the national caretaker chairman of the People's Democratic Party on the line, Senator Ahmed McCarthy. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Distinguished Senator, now, what makes you think the PDP can reclaim power in 2019? You've been talking about this and over again as if you are so sure that the PDP, in spite of the almost 2 years of internal wranglings, can actually reclaim the center seat in 2019?
Well, our internal wrangling is basically over. We are working hard to reconcile with all PDP members, and not only reconcile with all PDP members, but also encourage into other territories, other political parties, or people who had not been in politics before. And we're very, very comfortable where we're heading, where we're going. As a matter of fact, from tomorrow, you begin to see events that will indicate who and who are coming into PDP without any conditionalities laid, to the party for their coming in. So we know, we are politicians, we know what is going on in the daytime, nighttime, and whatever hour, and we're comfortable where we're going.
Senator, yesterday...
We have been saying that while we will be coming out of our problem, other political time and whatever hour, and we're comfortable where we're going.
Senator, yesterday...
We have been saying that while we will be coming out of our problem, other political parties will be getting into their problem. And you shouldn't rule out APC going to a major or more serious crisis than the one we have just come out of. So we are comfortable. Again, we have learned our lesson. We know some of the factors that contributed to our defeat, in 2015, and we are human. We have erred. We are sorry where we erred, and we are making amends. And it is going to be a brand new PDP, not the same PDP that people had problems with before.
Senator, yesterday, some of my guests here and Jide actually affirmed the fact that you are a fantastic organizer. Now, I want to know, have you reached out to Senator Ali Modu Sheriff after the Supreme Court judgment? You actually said in the Supreme Court that no victor, no vanquish, in line with reconciliatory spirit. Have you spoken to you on phone?
Well, honestly, I have not, because it's not personal issue. But we have been talking with many heavyweights that were with him, and many heavyweights that were with him are part and parcel of what we are doing now, and we are continuing to make that effort. And we have been telling them to talk to him, his friend and a political associate. So it is the approach, but not that we don't want to, but we rather use the approach that you find comfort in, in making his own feelings known, rather than a frontal approach that, you may not take liking to. So directly, no, but indirectly communications have been going on. Whether the communications are effectively reaching him or not, I'm not in a position to say. But from what we are seeing, heavyweights that are known to be with him have also been working with us. Some of them actively participated at the convention, and some of them are in a number of committees that we have set up.
So, Senator, I want to know that if in the Southwest is a major area of interest, and I know that going by your zoning level formula, the national chairmanship might be coming to the Southwest. In any way, what are you doing to make sure you reconcile the PDP in the Southwest, especially between Governor Ayo Fayose and Senator Buruji Kashamu, which are the two leading gladiators in the Southwest?
Well, first of all, as far as the national is concerned, there is no zoning there is no micro-zoning. The micro-zoning is north-south. That's what national knows. That's what the convention approved, that the presidency will come to north. It didn't say northwest, northeast, or north central.
Okay.
And that the national chairman will go to south. It didn't say southwest, southeast, or south-south. North may choose to meet and microzone. South may choose to meet and microzone, but that's not binding on the national. That is why, as far as national is concerned, anybody from the north can look for presidency, as well as anybody from the south can look for national chairmanship. At the end of the day, it is the national delegates that will make a choice of the best candidate that is considered, for any of these positions. That is to clarify matters. So as far as national is concerned, there is no specific zoning to a geopolitical zone of any particular office. Having said that, while the convention dissolved some state structures, not just in the southwest, in the northwest, in the northeast, in the north central, was to try to induce or kind of force, the parties to reconcile. Why I'm saying this is that each of the two sides or disputing sides is hanging on one court judgment or the other. You have conflicting court judgment, and none of these conflicting court judgments prevented, the party from dissolving these structures. Therefore, the party thought that, to bring this quarrel to an end, all these structures should be dissolved, and then within 90 days, reconcile them and hold an all-inclusive congresses at ward, local government, and state level to bring the rancor to an end. So whether this rancor is in Southwest or any part of Nigeria, in the National Convention that ended August 12th, has taken a decision. And today, as I'm speaking to you, we inaugurated 3 caretaker committees for Ogun, for Kebbi, and for Borno states, and moving ahead to reconcile all disputing parties, before we go for congresses.
Now, Senator, I wanted to ask you, there are some big wigs from the All Progressive Congress. We spoke about them yesterday. They have one leg in the APC and one leg. People like former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Senator Rabiu Kwakwanso, have they reached out to you?
Well, all of them are associates of mine. We have not discussed on their crossing over, but if they want to join the PDP, they will be very, very much welcome. We're on talking terms, not to do with their coming or not coming. And not only them, we're on talking terms with, we know who we're on talking terms with. And that is what gives us the confidence that come 2019, God willing, we'll have a new PDP that will be in control of the center and majority of states of the Federation.
Senator Makarufi, we had the PDP announce a few weeks back that 9 big people from the ruling party will be crossing. 9 big people, heavyweights, political heavyweights, will be joining the PDP. Who are the people that we are looking at?
There are more than 9, as far as I'm concerned. We have many heavyweights we expect to join the party.
They are coming to your party?
It's not going to be possible to say what our strength is likely going to be, but we are comfortable the way we are going.
You have indicated a desire to bring former President Olusegun Obasanjo back to the PDP, despite publicly tearing his PDP card.
Well,
what chances
never
of
mention any person's name. We said that anybody who had left the party at whatever time, it is our desire to bring back such a person. Such a person may come back as active party member. Such a person may come back as a father to the party. Such a person may come back, in any form. Such an individual, desires to come in. The objective is to join hands together to bring to an end this mutual suspicion of one another, all kinds of insecurity. The way the country is going is not good for all of us. And PDP is a political party. It's not an alliance. It's not an association. We think we are better placed. Haven't learned our lesson, to address the problems bedeviling this country.
There are some Nigerians who are saying that before they can give the PDP another chance, that the PDP has to openly come out and apologize for 16 years of misrule. Those are not my words. Their words. Their own words. 16 years of misrule. Will the PDP be willing to openly, maybe on live television, apologize to Nigerians?
When you talk of misrule or not meeting certain set objectives, it did not start from PDP government. I mean, several past governments have had their positive side and their negative side. But several, even at the convention that concluded August 12th, I did say, and even before then, publicly I had said, where we erred, we apologize for where we erred. We are human, but we have learned our lesson. But it is better you make mistake and accept you make mistake and correct and move forward than to pretend you are perfect, you make no mistake, and every day you are sliding. And that is the situation we have now. But of course, we can see the number of clauses, and you cannot, as human beings, you cannot say that, there are no negative sides, to the period we are in power. One, we are not perfect, but we've learned our lesson, and we know where the imperfection was, and we make sure that does not repeat itself, and we will run an open and all-inclusive government that will listen to the people.
All right.
Not controlling people, as if they are robots.
I want to thank you, Your Excellency, distinguished Senator Ahmed McCarthy. McCarthy is two-time governor of Kaduna State and also a senator. Yes, and we wish him the best of luck. And yesterday, we were even talking about the possibility of this distinguished senator, after he might have served meritoriously as the national chairman of the party, even caretaker committee, even contest to, for the #1 seat, because we know he has what it takes. Babajide.
Yes, he has the qualities, leadership qualities. He's a bridge builder, no doubt about it. He's someone that I've known since 1997, and I have tremendous respect for him. He did well, even in the Senate as chairman of the Senate Finance Committee. He did well. And as Kaduna governor, he did well. He was the darling of the Christians in Kaduna. They invested so much faith in him, and he never disappointed them. His re-election in 2003 was down to the Christians. He got more votes from the
Kaduna South.
He got more votes from Christians in Kaduna State than even from Muslims. So he's a man, he's a sort of person that many Nigerians will readily invest their faith in. But whether his party, the PDP, is ready, is ready to reclaim the leadership that it lost in 2015, is a question that time only can answer, and time is a gentleman.
Well, 24 hours is a long time in politics, not to talk of 2 years, but it will be the miracle of miracles for the present PDP.
Miracle of miracles.
To snatch power of the magnitude that the chairman is talking about. Of course, they will win a couple of other states. APC has been at the local level. The appointment at best. And so we can't really say nothing can happen. But I like the optimism. As a politician, it is standard that you must ginger your troops and tell them that anything is possible. And like I said, that's the way it works.
To rest this topic, he said something. He said the people that been talking to them from the APC, that the people giving them confidence.
Yes, he's expected to say that, at least to boost the confidence of people that are thinking that they have chance to take over the power. But truth of the matter is they need to do what they are supposed to do to give Nigeria a formidable opposition, which we need now. Whether we like it or not, a democracy is said to be healthy when we have a formidable opposition. So whether they will take over power or not, they need to at least stage a very formidable opposition so that even the ruling party will sit tight.
Adiola has not addressed my question very well. I'm saying that it shows that there's a big problem within the All Progressive Congress. If ordinarily, Senator McCarthy immediately won at the Supreme Court and some APC people are calling him, they've been calling him to congratulate him.
Yes.
So if that is a fact, the statement of fact, that means some people are already tired of the present APC and they might be moving with their crowd.
You see, as I always say, politics is an interest-driven game. If some people think that their interests would be better served, their interests as politicians and position seekers will be better served in the PDP, they will go there. It's as simple as that. And I've said it repeatedly that even from what we see, there are certain people who already know. Some of them are in the Senate, they know that they won't get the ticket back to the Senate.
Like of Dino.
Because they've waged, I won't mention it.
No names.
They've waged a war against their own party. So you are waging a war against your party from within.
Yeah.
So when that time comes for you to come and seek re-election, they will wait for you as well. You won't even get the ticket. So I foresee the sort what happened in 2014 happening again. In the Senate, about 70 senators lost the opportunity to come back to the Senate.
Damn.
And
that's costly.
In the House of Reps, about 260.
Oh my.
They didn't come
Out
back.
of 360.
And lawmakers are very expensive to prepare.
I'm telling you.
Train.
The
in
more,
the heart of
the
lawmaking.
more experience you have, the better.
Yeah, so
And it
if
takes
you-
a long time to understand.
If you bear that in mind, then you know that some of these guys are already talking to these fellows. I've asked repeatedly, wow, what is a sitting minister from the APC was doing in the PDP National Secretariat on a day when people were paying solidarity visit to Ahmed Mohamed Makarfi. What were you doing? We've heard that, oh, she came to tell them that, oh, they should give APC women, and will give women positions in the APC. Why did you choose that auspicious time to pay that visit? And will give women positions in the APC. Why did you choose that auspicious time to pay that visit? It's even something, you can even grant an interview. You can do a press conference and say it.
Or you can meet them in their
Why
homes,
did you go personally to
the secretariat.
that place? And I can tell you, on the day McCarthy won that, got that judgment, many people from the APC were phoning him. He got so many calls. He can't deny it. He's watching me. He was getting calls from APC members.
Top-notch members.
Top-notch members congratulating him. So he sends
that we are with you in spirit.
yeah, they were congratulating.
We'll soon be with you in.
Let me tell you, even when McCarthy and Sheriff had their crisis, I know some people want to replace Buhari as president, who invested their money, their hope on Sheriff, in the hope that Sheriff will clinch it, that if Sheriff clinches it, oh, they are shoehorn for the presidential.
That's others also did for both of them.
Yes, I'm telling you.
Gamblers.
See, all kinds of things happen. This last PDP non-elective convention, there were some APC members who were volunteering to pay for the airing, the live airing of the event.
Wow.
So it's better I'm providing valuable information for the party. It's better they look within. It's better they look within, because there are people who will remain in the party and try to bring it down. So the party has to sit up, organize itself. You know, we've been saying it repeatedly on this program that in Kogi State, that the national chairman of the APC had not deemed it fit to reconcile the contending figures in Kogi
Till
State.
tomorrow.
Now, no, he just set up a committee. He just set up a committee this week to reconcile them. The committee is led by a retired army officer. You know? So it's just, that means at least they listen to us. We are telling them that this is the way to go. To be complacent and imagine that, oh, PDP, they can't do anything, is a very dangerous thing. Because your own people are making eyes at them. Because they are looking for an opportunity, so that if they block the opportunity here, then they will go to the other place. Where you will witness some extraordinary defections is in the National Assembly. And those PDP guys are already boasting that you will see some people defecting from the National Assembly. That was how it happened the last time. That was the first signal to us that PDP was in trouble, because people were defecting from the PDP.
Including the speaker.
Yeah, people are defecting. So it's really tough times for the APC. But if the leadership, the national leadership, will sit up and bring the party together, honestly, the PDP won't be able to stand a chance.
I think John Oyegun should just listen to us, and I think John Oyegun has been snoring as the national chairman of APC, because
John
we've not really seen.
Oyegun's watch, I think, is not at sync with everybody else. He moves at his own pace.
Even the Senate president complained.
Because
Bola Saraki complained.
a national party chairman in power that do not take the interest of his members to task is not a chairman at all. Because for two reasons. One of them, of course, being the fact that those who work for this party to come into power right now are out there in limbo. And most of them were former PDP members who followed their principles to APC.
Now, go back.
Now they are free. During the non-elective jamboree that they did in Rivers State, I saw faces that are still working for very senior members of this administration at that place.
Doing what?
Just doing the jamboree with them. As you know, these are full soldiers of what we are looking forward to in the next 2 years. Our politics is very fluid. Nothing is cast in stone. And I know that Ide will confirm the return of Buhari may have changed some permutations. But it doesn't mean those permutations will go away.
They won't rest. They won't rest.
They
won't rest.
Definitely.
I said it earlier. With what is happening, we all know that even APC has its own problems, and it's an opportunity for PDP to catch in and get or snatch members that are already not happy with what is happening in APC. It is politics. Today someone can be in party A and tomorrow it can be in party B. So the most important thing to all these politicians is interest. Yes. Where they think their interest could be will be served, they will go there. So anybody cannot say that APC will definitely get a return in 2019. Nobody can write off PDP outrightly. Yeah. I think it's a better thing for Nigeria. Let's have it hot and let the better candidates win the election.
PDP, that means no political party, the UAPC or PDP, can make the mistake of 2015 or what happened in 2014, that the former president was given the tickets to, from the South. Now PDP has made it abundantly clear that our presidential candidate is going to be fight to finish.
I think that at that time, if the PDP had not demonstrated extreme desire to keep Jonathan on the job, I think the situation could have been different.
The narrative would have been,
I think
difficult to
the fact that there was no level playing field sent a clear message to people like Kwankwa Soda, look, we better leave this party. And the preponderance of opinion in the North at that time was, look, it's the time of the North. After all, Jonathan
promised them
Jonathan used up the Yar'Adua's time. So the sentiment at that time favored a return to the North, which Obasanjo himself said publicly, that power at this time should go back. But Jonathan and others, having tasted power, were not going to give it up easily. So everything was skewed towards ensuring that he got the ticket of the party. And that was what incensed a lot of these people. So they walked out on him, the first sitting president in Africa to be walked out on by members of his own party. They walked out on him, and that was the beginning of the crisis that brought the PDP down. So this time around, they've seen clearly that, look, the sentiment still remains that power should be retained in the North.
Nobody dare make that mistake.
So they've given themselves a fair chance of doing well in the election by zoning.
Quickly, let me take Mohammed from Kano. Thank you for joining us, Mohammed.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Mohammed.
Mohammed.
Good evening.
Yeah, Kekene.
Yeah, evening. Babajide. Barka da yamma.
Sano.
Lafiya kalau Babajide. Please, I wanted to make some little observations or contribution towards you guys have been discussing this evening. The problem is less shown sentiment. In all the parties there are crises, which the leaders and the people need to judge is happening. Really, Makarfi has spoken vividly, and things have been happening. In the APC, really, there are issues that are happening.
Yes.
All right, still to come. Sloppy policeman let ritual suspect escape custody in Rivers State. Details shortly after this break. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Journalist Hangout. We're reaching you live from Television Continental here in Lagos, Nigeria. And the Nigerian police force are popular outside and within the country for achievements. But in Nigeria, some other achievements make us wonder the kind of characters that make up the police. Now, in January 2012, a terror suspect escaped from police custody and they were searching his house. In January this year, 2 robbery suspects in Lagos removed the roof of the police station cell where they were kept and escaped. Officers on duty slept off while the suspects executed their escape plan. Last Sunday, a 23-year-old ritualist who defied and murdered an 8-year-old girl escaped from police custody in Rivers State. Today, the police have deployed everything in their arsenal to rearrest the suspects, but the process that led to his escape was at best ridiculous. The suspect was neither handcuffed nor manacled. Now, and he had the chance to run. Isn't it time for the Nigerian police to set new criteria for the recruitment process? This is something that we've said, repeated over and over again. If somebody that that perpetrated this crime, a 23-year-old ritualist who defied and murdered an 8-year-old girl, mutilated, that means that person might have gone berserk. And I don't know.
Dangerous person.
It's a dangerous person, and that person to have escaped. We don't know what that same person can perpetrate outside.
It's terrible. Because when I saw the story that he had been arrested, I was very excited. These are the things, such arrests that make me happy with the police. But my joy was short-lived. You know, to hear that this guy has escaped.
Escaped how?
Who knows who he will kill next? So there is absolutely no reason for this dangerous person to escape. Because you already extracted confession from him. And you had pictures of the girl that was mutilated, cut her breast and and her genitals. So this is not the sort of person who should be roaming free, because it's money that he's looking for by getting involved in money-making rituals. He's going to get someone else.
Might be a sick person.
Yeah, he's going to look for someone else. And he will do the same thing that he did to that little girl, to someone else. So it's dangerous. This kind of people, it's just like, what's his name? The guy, the serial kidnapper, Vampire.
Evans.
Vampire eventually murdered his wife, his girlfriend, and some of his relations.
Came to Lagos.
His relations. So when a dangerous person is on the loose, you can be sure that people will pay with their lives. So there was no reason for the police to allow this guy to escape. It's very uncalled for. We don't want to criticize the police all the time here, because there are excellent officers in the police. There are people who are sacrificing everything that God has given them in the police.
24/7.
But this kind of thing shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening. Because when they happen, we will be forced to criticize the police. And then people will come and say we don't like them. It's terrible. Why should a ritual killer, why should he escape?
GKB, I don't know. In other crimes, by the time they arrest these people, they categorize them.
Yeah.
And it's according to, they profile them. It's according to that they use some, they put them in, dungeon, solitary confinement, because this kind of person that has exhibited, the trait of being a psycho. So they would have been monarchical, changed up now.
I don't want to play the part of the man who complains after the horse has bolted, but I don't think the IG and the high command of the police will have anything to tell us unless this guy is caught. That's the only thing that we want to hear now. I don't want to know why. I don't want to know the wherefores. It's not my problem. A man who can do this to an 8-year-old was being treated like a common pickpocket. That means he was not treated for the level of crime that he has committed. Maybe he was asked to sit down in the common and just wait there, and he wasn't shackled. And they said there was no light. And you know, this man is a child molester, he's a child murderer. I'm a friend of the police, but I don't want to hear anything. And I'm sure Nigerians don't want to hear anything until this guy is caught. That is the red alert and must go all over the country. Unless and until this man is caught, the police is on trial. That's what I'm going to say. Go all over the country. Unless and until this man is caught, the police is on trial. That's what I'm going to say.
Adiola, what more can we say?
Okay, his name is Ifeanyi Duke. It shouldn't only be caught. Some people need to be punished.
Yes, heads must roll.
Yes, heads must roll.
Who are those people on duty?
Yeah.
Who is the prosecuting officer?
Because
IPO?
Because it's saddening to say the least.
Yeah.
And you will not imagine that in the city that this happened in Rivers State, parents should beware. Because it's inexplicable that there's no way you will want to even defend this.
No story.
Though he should be rearrested. Everything the police has in his custody should be deployed this time around to rearrest this guy. And people that are on duty, those that don't do what they are supposed to do, should be punished. This is the only way that a reoccurrence of this will not happen, and a lot of people will have their mind at rest. As parents, what will you want to tell the mother of that 8-year-old? What will you want to tell the father? What will you want to tell parents?
A trusted neighbor.
Yes. And
in the house he lives.
23-year-old.
Come for them.
So what will you want to tell the parents? So the best thing the police can do for us now that we want to hear is to rearrest this guy, get him at all costs, and punish those that were responsible for his escape. So I think with that, we can look at the next thing to be done. But as we speak now, those two items have to be quickly addressed. So,
Judy, I think we've had not so similar cases in past of somebody said to have been arrested and that person bolted, and I'm trying to remember one prominent one.
No, Vampire. Vampire was brought to court. They overpowered the policeman who
escaped.
Did Kabiru Sokoto
escaped? Yes.
Because of the laxity of the police in Abuja. Because naturally you would have expected that somebody who could kill so many people on Christmas Day should have been, manacled, chained, and given the best of protection. Because his friends will come and try to free him. But he escaped, and I think that was what eventually led to the deserved exit of Zachary Biu, because Zachary Biu had been retired by Obasanjo, the retirement was said to have not been procedurally right, though he was brought back. But as fate will have it, he made that mistake, and God ensured that his fate was sealed, and he exited the police to the joy of a lot of us.
Okay, Adeyinka from Ogun State is on the line. Thank you for joining us, Yinka.
Good evening. How are you doing, sir?
Very well, thank you, Yinka.
Uncle Jide, how now?
I greet you.
I greet everybody that gets in the house.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Please, my own suggestion, sir, is this. You see, if the police can continue in this kind of attitude, they are about to lose further trust in the police force.
Yes.
That way, will they be happy? Will the police be happy if the criminal goes after their own wife or children? Let them answer that question. Let the police force answer that question. An 8-year-old child was killed by somebody that had been arrested by the police and now escaped from the police custody. Let him now go after the wife and children of that same police to those police officers. who are on duty that day. And let the IG make sure that the officers on duty are punished. Thank you.
Thank you, Yinka.
Okay.
I wanted to conclude that it is this kind of behavior, laxity on the part of the police, that has bred people's belief in jungle justice.
Jungle justice.
Because if they think that criminals will escape from police custody, they will. In fact, when police have arrested such criminals, they will overpower the police and serve their own form of justice. So it's this kind of thing that breeds jungle justice. It's unbelievable that this can happen.
Sadly.
And GKB, we also have situation whereby the criminal will not have to escape, but it will be duly arrested. The next thing, in 2-3 weeks' time, you see the person walking on the streets. And the person that have reported, the criminal will come back to that person and there will be a backlash.
That is
We've
common.
seen this.
That is fairly common across the country, especially for well-known criminals who terrorizes areas. And then they will go away and they will come back and they will point at you that you are the one that got them arrested. I think, again, it's a catch-22 for the police. You want to be humane, but you also want to be effective. And there must be a balance. In cases of that nature, I think it's time that whatever Lagos State has done about the timeline for criminal justice should be applied nationwide, so that you know that this man that's arrested today has a timeline to get judgment. And in the first instance, let's say a year. And then once that is set in stone, people will trust the police more, because they will just assume that it's no longer their problem, it's the problem of the judicial system. But right now, it's the problem of the police, because they are still in your custody. The guy has not been charged, the guy has not been infected, and the next thing we knew, the guy just walked out. And that to me is beyond compassion, because an 8-year-old girl in the house that she lives with her parents, a neighbor that they trusted from their own ethnic nationality, do such a thing. And the police could not look away like they do in America when they realize that somebody is a perennial criminal. You just plant something on him, give a gun to him, and waste him. Why I'm not advocating that, I think the police need to do.
Let me quickly take this call. Babangida is calling us from Gombe State. Thank you for joining us, Babangida.
Thank you so much.
Go ahead with your contribution.
All right, thank you so much. So, you are talking about the suspected individual escaping from police.
Yes.
So this is not the first time, and here in Gombe, even last 4 months, there is some vigilante group that arrested the army robbers and they handed over the police. And the same issue what happened. So up to now, nobody come out and tell us what is going on about the army robbers. So this is not the first time this happened in this country.
Okay, I think the timing is another thing.
Yeah.
You agree with me that at this point in time we have cases of kidnapping and ritual killing. Example of that is what is happening in Lagos. Virtually every 2 weeks you had report of that, and people are taking law into their hands now by serving jungle justice on the people, and the police is trying its best to ensure that they discourage people from serving jungle justice. So now that this is happening, the police now to do those two things. Number one, rearrest this guy. Number two, punish those that are supposed to be punished for this offense. And I think it's only with that the confidence that they are battling to ensure that they get from Nigeria and they will be able to get.
No, Jide, to show that it's not a so sorry state or irredeemable situation for the police, we have some fine officers, people that anytime we look at, and we're always very, very encouraged. And it's like it gives us hope in the Nigerian police force.
Yes, there are so many of them. Even we don't have to mention so many bright officers, people that you can really trust.
Look at that super kidnapper, the guy that used to bust kidnappers.
There are many Abakiaris in the police. Many Abakiaris.
Decent.
Abakari has had an opportunity and he has used this opportunity well. I can tell you that
if given the
there are
opportunity,
many Abakiaris. It's not as if we do not have them. We have them. you know,
decent,
well-trained police officers who have been trained abroad and trained in Nigeria. You know, so but the irresponsible behavior of a few policemen continues to tarnish the good name of our bright police officers. So, and this is what I feel really bad seeing. It's depressing. This story is particularly depressing. And I can only pray and wish that the police will eventually lay their hands on that sick fellow, so that it can be, justice can be served on him in record time. I respect the former Chief Judge of Kogi State, Justice Umaru Eri, because those policemen who killed cattle traders, he served justice on them quickly in record time. He got them sentenced to death. That is the sort of thing that I want done to this sick fellow who cut that girl into several parts.
So it's, I think we charge the Inspector General of Police. I think he has a responsibility, and I know he will continue that responsibility to fish out the bad eggs from the Nigerian police force. I want to thank you, Adeola Yusuf. I want to thank you, GKB. Yeah. Thank you, Babajide Kolade Otitoju. And that's it on Journalist Hangout today. Join us tomorrow for another interesting episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight on DSTV 418, GoTV 45, and anytime we're not joining the terrestrial platform, you can watch Journalist Hangout same time, 5 p.m. every day on Star Times, any of our network. You can always reach Journalist Hangout. So every day we still hold Journalist Hangout 5 to 6 p.m. You can also catch us on YouTube. That's youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Our feedback channel is Journalist Hangout at tvcnews.tv. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. God bless Nigeria. Bye for now.